Good morning, Stampers. I am here live from Bittern Lake today at a crafting retreat, and I didn't want to not do my Facebook Live, so welcome. And as you can see, you can see partly up at the top there, I've got a little cougar in the background. This is a hunting lodge, and during off season he does crafting retreats. So I'm happy to be here with several friends. I've got Leanne and Rhonda behind me there, and then I've got several more in front of me. Lots more to join us today as well. So I am just gonna update my iPad here so I can see your comments. Be sure to say hi when you join in, so I know that you're here. Okay, let's see here. All right, turn my sound down so I don't hear myself talking. All right, so my name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta. Welcome if you're watching live. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Leanne. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. Be sure to pop in and say hi and say that you're watching the replay. I like to start with doing a draw for last week's prize. So the way that you can be entered to win the projects that I'm creating today is by, good morning Christine, good morning Peggy, is by commenting on this post or sharing this post, whether you're watching live or the replay. So these are the projects from last week. So I've got everybody's name. Oh, that's the envelope here. There we go. So I've got everybody's name who commented or shared the video in a bowl here, so I'm gonna draw for a winner. Good morning, Beth. Thank you for sharing. And the winner is Amy T. So I will message her and get her address and pop those in the mail for her. All right. So let's just move this stuff out of the way. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just bear with me for a second. Oh, what did I do? The wrong thing here. There we go. Okay, let's see how this looks. Not the best angle here. Okay, all right, that will have to do. Okay, so today we are going to be crafting with this Fable Friends stamp set. It's an adorable stamp set that's perfect for spring and Easter projects. We are experiencing some gorgeous weather here in Alberta, finally. It's well deserved. So it's time to think about spring and some spring crafting. So I've got a couple really cute projects. One is Easter themed, and then one is something a little bit different because it's not just for Easter. Mary Liz says she's just thinking of getting this stamp set. It's so cute. I think I might be able to convince you after today. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to create using our sweet cups today. So these are in the Occasions catalog. They're cute little cups that you can do lots with. We are going to use them separately, so we are not going to use the lid and the cup together. So we're going to do something with the base, and then we're going to do something with the lid. All right, so here's the first project. So it's a cute little Easter basket. So we've added polka dots to it, added the squirrel, and then there's some little Easter eggs in there. So let's start by decorating our cup. We're going to use Night of Navy ink and just a finger dauber, and we're going to add some polka dots. So I'm just putting the ink on and then just applying a little bit of pressure Just kind of doing it randomly across all the way around. Let's add one up here. All right, and because this is a glossy finish, it does need a little bit of time to dry. So we'll set that aside while we're working on the rest. Okay. So now you're going to pull in a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and we're going to use the squirrel image and some Memento ink. So it does dry relatively quickly, Beth. By the time I'm finished creating the rest of the project, it will be dry. Okay, so I'm hoping that this works. Oh, thank you. There are folding tables here, and I find stamping on folding tables is not the best, so it's always nice to have a foam mat. All right, so we've got that cute little squirrel image, and we are going to color him in using Stampin' Blends. And I'm using a combination of Balmy Blue, light and dark, Crumb Cake, light and dark, Old Olive, light and dark, and Pineapple Punch. Okay, so I'm going to start by coloring in, color in the center of the flower. I like to start when I color with my blends. I like to start with the light, add the dark, and then blend with the light. But that doesn't mean that's the only way to do it. You can start with the dark and then blend with the light. It's completely up to you. Good morning, Barb. Okay, and then I'm going to use the light Balmy Blue. Yes, Leanne, Old Olive is one of my favorite colors as well. It's just such a classic color. It'll never go away, I don't think. Okay, so I'm just going to color his hat and his shirt. And when you're coloring with the blends, a light touch is always best. You don't need to push very hard. The color just gets added to that cardstock just so smoothly. And I prefer to use the brush tip just because you can get into those narrow little places a little bit easier than if you use the fine point. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of shading with the dark. So anywhere where it might be a little bit darker or there might be shadows. It's a little bit more difficult when it's on such a small surface. And then I'm going to go back in and just blend with the light. Okay, and then we're going to do the squirrel. So I am going to use, actually let's do the leaf first. So I'm going to use the light again, start with the light, color the entire leaf. And then go in with the dark, and I'll color the stem and add a bit of shading on the leaf. Good morning, Susan. Oh, let's add a bit of shading here. And then I'll go back in and blend it. And then we'll do the squirrel. So I'm going to color him with light Crumb Cake first. So what does everybody have planned for this weekend? Anything fun? Hopefully it's something outside where you can enjoy the beautiful weather. Okay. love the blends because you don't have to be very careful. You can just, even just scribble and it still looks good. For the tail, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a little bit of white space. And then I'm gonna come back in, add a bit of shading with the dark crumb cake. And I love these stamp sets that have the little sketch lines because it kind of tells you where the shading is meant to be. All right, and then I'll come back in and blend with the light. And I'll fill in any spots where I kind of left white, except you'll notice that when I color the tail, I am going to leave a white space. I find that that looks really good, especially on larger images. Oh, how did your surgery go, Beth? Are you right-handed? Okay, so that's kind of where the light is hitting it, so it adds a little bit more of a shadow. Okay, so now he's all colored in. I'm gonna move these guys out of the way. We are gonna bring in the layering circles framelits, and I am going to use the, I believe it's the number 6. Yes, so number 6, for those of you who are watching for the first time, shaky hand advantage. Yes, that blends work perfectly for that if you've got shaky hands. Okay, so if you are watching for the first time, what I like to do is my nesting framelits, I like to number them starting with the smallest size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then I would do the same for the scallop circles. It just makes it easy to reference when I'm doing classes or letting people know what size I'm using. Okay, so I'm using number 6. I'm gonna bring in my big shot. Good morning, Amy. And we're just gonna line him up, run him through the big shot. Oh, a pinched nerve does sound better than a torn rotator cuff. Okay, so now we've got our squirrel cut out. Let's put that back. And I've gone ahead and pre-cut the coordinating size in scallop circle from Balmy Blue. So this is number 6 in the scallop circle. And we are going to use some adhesive to stick it on. So we get just a touch of a scallop border all the way around. And then what I did was I've gone ahead and stamped another one of those flowers, and then I fussy cut it. So I cut it right on the line, and I'm gonna use a dimensional to pop it up. It just gives it a little bit more dimension, and it really makes it look like that flower is coming off of the paper. So look at that, isn't that cute? Okay, so now we're gonna pull in our treat cup, and where the seam is, I'm gonna put that at the back because I wanna stick this on the front. So what I found worked best was on the bottom, I'm going to stack 3 dimensionals because the cup, it's a little bit angled, so it's narrower at the bottom and wider at the top. So I've got 1 layer, I'm gonna put another layer on, and then a 3rd one. Thank you, Beth. All right, and then we'll stick this on where I want it. And then to adhere that top part, I'm just gonna use a little mini glue dot and stick it right to the rim of the cup. Just like that. So now it's on there. It's not gonna move. Okay, isn't that cute? And then you can just, I used one of our 3x6 gusseted bags. I added some little Rolo eggs, tied it with some ribbon, added a little Easter greetings tag, and we've got the cutest little Easter cup. Isn't that cute? And I believe these Rolo eggs are gluten-free, so my daughter can eat them. All right, so I just want to point oh crap. All right, am I back? Maybe there's too many people on the internet. Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna assume that somebody's got a connection or it will jump back in. Okay. Okay, all right, so it looks like it's coming back. Okay, so this is the next project. Isn't this cute? So I used the cup, or the lid, sorry, of the cup and created this cute little baby tag. All right, it looks like I'm back. So when I first saw this set, this image, this little rabbit, just reminded me of Peter Rabbit. So I had to color him in with a little blue jacket and in crumb cake to make him look like Peter Rabbit. And then on the back, you can write your message. So isn't that cute? You can just add it to a gift tag and it'd be a great keepsake for a new mom. Okay, so where is my kit for this one? Okay, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I pre-punched a hole. I used my Crocodile, the larger hole in my Crocodile. It's not something that Stampin' Up! Carries anymore, but I have kept mine. That worked really well because I seem to be able to get in a little further than some of our regular handheld punches. So I punched the top, so I made sure that the seam was at the bottom and then the hole goes at the top. And then I've got a piece of, I think it's about 12 inches. No, it's about 14 inches of this gorgeous polka dot tulle ribbon. And I'm just gonna join up the ends and then feed it through the hole. So I pull both. I'm gonna pull it quite a long ways because I want to tie a knot. You just wanna make sure you don't pull it all the way through. Okay, so I've got both of them together and I'm just going to wrap it around, tie a knot and pull it so it's closer to the end and then pull it through. So that's how it's going to hang, is like that. Yes, that's right. That's a great idea, Mary Liz. You could easily add baby stats onto this. So now I've got a piece of balmy blue organdy ribbon. This is the celebration ribbon. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, but it worked perfectly because it was the same color as Peter Rabbit's shirt. But you could use any ribbon, or you could even color, using your blends, you could color some of our white ribbon. So I'm going to tie a bow. Okay, we've got that. We'll trim that off, and now we get to the fun stuff. I'll adjust those ends after here. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside. Now, we are going to stamp our image. So we want the Peter Rabbit, or the rabbit. We're gonna stamp him with Memento because we're gonna color him in using blends. Okay. right, so we've got him stamped, and then you guys just saw me color the squirrel, so I'm not going to color the whole image. What I did was I used a bit of petal pink for inside his ears, then balmy blue for his shirt, and crumb cake for the rabbit himself, and then I fussy cut him. So there's no framelit for this guy. You do have to fussy cut it. So there he is, all colored in, cut out. And then I've gone ahead and I used the largest layering circle scallop to cut out, I think it was the largest one. Let me just double check. Yes, so the largest scallop circle, that's cut from Balmy Blue. And then the largest solid circle, and this is from the Twinkle Twinkle DSP. All right, so I'm gonna add adhesive. Oh, I wanted to use dimensionals for this. Because there is a little bit of a lip on the cup, I thought that you could add a ton of dimension and not have to worry about it. So I'm going to add dimensionals to this piece and add it to the scallop. And then I'll use dimensionals again for my scallop circle. And then I'll stick that in the center of the lid. Just like this. So with a nice even border all the way around. And then we're going to use some adhesive just to stick him flat. Okay, and I want to make sure that my ribbon is at the top so that it's straight. Add that little guy there. And then I've got a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock and a piece of multi-purpose adhesive sheets. I'm going to stick this on because I'm going to cut my word welcome. And this is the easiest way of sticking it down and the least messy. Okay, and I forgot to pull out my well said words. Just give me a minute here, guys. There we go. So I'm using the well-written framelits. And I'm going to pull out the word welcome. Okay, and when you use these self-adhesive sheets, you want to remember a couple things. First of all, you want your self-adhesive sheet to be smaller than your cardstock size, because if it's larger, then it's going to gum up your cutting mats. And when you cut your word, you want to flip it over so that the adhesive is on the bottom. So cardstock always, or pattern paper, always needs to be up. So bring back my big shot. Thanks, Brett. All right. Okay. I think this is one of my favorite projects that I've ever created. I love this little tag. It looks so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to pop it out. Get rid of the little pieces that I don't need. And now what I've done using the multi-purpose adhesive sheets, I basically just created a sticker. So I can just peel off the backing. And stick the welcome on. Okay, and now I've got a little scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to use the coordinating stamp set. It's called Well Said. I tell you, this is a stamp set that everybody needs in their collection. Well, this and the framelits, because there's so many stamps and so many different combinations that you can do. And I'm looking for the word baby. Oh, it's not in there because it's on a block. Okay, and then I'm going to pull in my Native Navy ink. And just stamp that down, and then I'm going to cut around it. And then use dimensionals to pop it up onto the tag. Lots of dimensionals on this project. So you could easily do this even without the sweet cups and just do it as a flat tag. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a sweet cup lid, but it looks so cute on the lid. Okay, so there's the front done. We're gonna flip it over, and I thought, I didn't like how that was there, so I wanted to cover that up, and I wanted to provide a place that you could write a message on there. So I've cut another of the largest scallop circle from Balmy Blue, and then a piece of Whisper White in the largest circle from the layering circles. And I'm going to stamp the greeting that says, "So happy you're here," in navy. Just in the center. And then that is going to get stuck on the scallop circle, and then dimensionals on top, or on the back of the blue piece. And that will cover over that little ribbon end there. I should really have regular dimensionals and not mini dimensionals for this project. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're just gonna stick this on here, again, making sure that your words are straight. Just like that. There you go. And it's done. So those are the two projects. So I wanted to share that also today is the release of our class in the mail, so a monthly class in the mail, and it features this stamp set. So I thought I'd give you a little peek at the projects. Love the colors in this. So the colors are chosen right from, this one is a bit of a fancy fold. Colors are chosen right from the Twinkle Twinkle DSP. And then this one's a little pouch. You could tuck a little treat in there, a gift card, a little note. So those are the projects for this month's class in the mail, and I will post a link to all the details in the description of this post when I post it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember to comment and share for a chance to win the projects from today. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.